stopping by. Today we have Benza. The track is Emancipation. From what I understand, the track is pretty deep, and it talks about his battle with addiction, getting deep down in the bowels of the darkness, man, and digging himself up into the light and getting himself back on the right track. So without further ado, let's jump in. Let's see what's got for us.
It's just different.
I could paint a dark picture of how I defied the odds. When the truth is, some days in my addiction's gotta be compared to any person in prison that's finding God. So until I'm in that coffin, I'm thinking outside the box. Try and stop using rap as a mask like it's an avatar. Man, stand as you are and discard that facade. Like social media's metaphorical fashion show. Cause we all pose promoting our social camouflage. So let's get down to the realness. Waste the time.
Bro, I'm digging this production. I think if I saw that correctly, it was Epik Dawn. I think I saw that. Like, if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. But I thought I said Epik Dawn. Digging it, man. I want to bring it back here for a second about this rappers with like dropping that facade and the whole social media idea about all these fake. I mean, we all know it, right? We all have these friends and stuff that post shit and they talk about how great their life is and how great their partner is and all that kind of stuff. And meanwhile, you have an inside because you just happen to be the buddy that person talks to, or your wife knows his wife and whatever, and you know that shit ain't true, man. The stuff you're seeing just ain't true, and really is just a fashion show, right? But all your good shit out there. Anyway, and the idea too about the rappers and the facade stuff, right? Hiding behind the tough guy act or pretending you're something you're not, growing up in a bad neighborhood that you didn't grow up in. I mean, the countless times that's been the case, right? Fake gangsters and shit. So far, so good, man.
A mask like it's an avatar. Man, stand as you are and discard that facade. Like social media's metaphorical fashion show. Cause we all pose promoting our social camouflage. So let's get down to the realness. Waste the time saying that you rate my rhymes and relate to mine. The only way you will relate to mine, pain inside, is if I take your mind, then replace it with mine so you can feel this. Jehovah's the composer, he orchestrates notes. And ain't this song heavenly? I played the wrong melody and dance with the devil, so you ought to take note. Cause I face the flames for you when I formulate flows. These people know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination. Something like the NHS, I guess, cause I don't lack impatience. In these times of aggravation, I just write my raps again. You try and place me in a box, well this is my emancipation. I won't hide the fact today that I've been crying at a graveside. I try to channel pain again with my imagination, but I just have to pray despite the minor laceration. I defy the hands of Satan, this is my emancipation. A lad cursed at birth, I had the nurses acting nervous, and birds sat in church grabbing their verses. At my service, I'm reversing the hearse, back from the furnace. These other rappers are napping the dirt, don't scratch the surface. Thinking I was still deceased when no one has killed the beast. You will see what I reveal.
I was going to bring this back for a second. I have a story to tell. That one bar, man, about a lad being, I think I said a lad cursed at birth. I was told by my older brother about a story that he was told when he was younger. I didn't really I don't remember meeting my dad's mom. She passed away before apparently I used to sit in her lap and she would hold me and sing to me in French because she never spoke a word of English. And you would think that I would have picked some of that up, but no, French was one of my worst subjects in school. That's not what the story's about. The story's about my grandmother, my grandmother or grandfather telling my older brother, that when my father was born, my grandmother had witnessed Satan in the room, and apparently Satan was in the room the whole time during the birth of my dad. And that's something that's always since he told me that, it's something that's stuck with me. Whether you believe or not believe, whatever way you lean in that direction, and looking upon the life that my father lived as a child and the things that he went through and the things that he brought into our life, and things that me and my family had gone through and witnessed, and the anguish that it caused. I wouldn't think, it wouldn't go as far. I would go as far as to say my dad was also cursed at birth by the sound of it, because that man did. I'll leave it at that. But hey, let's go.
Emancipation, I won't hide the fact of data. I've been crying at a graveside. I try to channel pain again with my imagination, but I just have to pray despite the minor laceration. I defy the hands of Satan, this is my emancipation. A lad cursed at birth, I had the nurses acting nervous, and birds sat in church grabbing their purses. At my service, I'm reversing the hearse, back from the furnace. These other rappers are napping the dirt, don't scratch the surface. Think hip-hop is still deceased when no one has killed the beast. You will see what I reveal, cause what is concealed in me is real deep, like a diamond in the dirt. Check my blood pressure, measure one, treasure in my chest, feel the beat. I still eat, sleep and breathe this. One thought is convicted, looking at a long sentence inside, so I release it. If all our brains are prisons, the inmates are facing plagiarism charges, silent up in confinement so they don't feed this. Everyone's a rapper, but tell me who actually has pursued rap on boom baps. It's New Jack City, true facts. Like my first love, I'm taking you back, like it's Tupac, Biggie in his do-rag. Really, these people know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination, something like the NHS.
So I think kind of what he's getting at with this is, if I had a brief conversation with Benza about the track, and if I remember correctly, it was a while back. And from what I'm understanding is that he came back to the art form as after being away for a while because of everything that he was going through and everything that he was doing. Kind of like he was saying, he went through those flames, he walked through that hell, and the need to put those thoughts, those memories, like you said, get into the imagination, put these words down. I do the same thing when I write. I know I've said it before, but all that childhood shit that I went through, sometimes when I need to get really dark and deep and put some horrible thing down on a page, because I for those who don't know, I write horror. So if I would need to go somewhere really deep, sometimes I do go back and I put myself in those situations and relive those again. Sometimes we need to ignite that dark flame again. And I think this is what he's talking about. He kind of almost like he betrayed the art form and he got away from it, and now he's coming back and he's using it in the way that he feels like it needs to be used. And that's to educate people, tell a story. Yeah, man, it's deep shit, man.
Cause I don't like impatience. In these times of aggravation, I just write my raps again. You try and place me in a box, well this is my emancipation. I won't hide the fact of data, I've been crying at a graveside. I try to channel pain again with my imagination, but I just have to pray despite the minor laceration. I defy the hands of Satan, this is my emancipation. I'm a dumb guy, but I'm still bright in my mum's eyes. Why? Cause you raised the sun, we call it sunrise. I spit fire, you trip on lines like tripwires. Spitfires fly over your head like my punchlines. With rhyme schemes, reminding myself that I'm clean, cause I built a shallow grave for my mind, but mine's deep. Trying not to let my big brother die and define me, but I lost a piece of my mind just trying to find peace. Still heartbroken, there's times that I can't cope, like I'll start smoking again. Maybe my path's chosen, yeah the road's harsh, but until the last moment passes I have both arms open to hope and I can't close them. Never clout chasing, eyebrow raising with groundbreaking sounds. Down in the basement right near where I found Satan in the cellar. Getting out of this world, I'm interstellar, out of space man, shaking the house's foundations now. People know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination, something like that.
Sorry, I want to bring this back just a little bit here. And it does ring a bell now that in that conversation he was talking about his brother's death. And that's often when we fall back, right? especially when you're trying to find a right path, and you think you're doing good, or maybe you struggled a little bit, and it just seems sometimes life just throws a roadblock up in front of you, and your very first thought is to go back to your vice, man, whatever that is. Even though we know over and over and over again, because we've done it, that it doesn't make anything better. It just makes things worse. It always makes things worse, right? And that thing too, that visual too of being down in the basement making beats, writing lyrics, and it's to sit down in the basement where he found Satan. So it's probably down there is when he would do the drugs, right? And in that same basement. This is the imagery of that. I really, like I said, the fact that I write horror, I can I can see that. I can see the visualize it so easily what he's trying to say. Yeah, man.
Arms open to hope and I can't close them. Never cloud chasing, eyebrow raising with groundbreaking sounds. Down in the basement right there where I found Satan in the cellar. Getting out of this world, I'm interstellar. Out of space, man, shaking the house's foundations now. People know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination. Something like the NHS, I guess, cause I don't lack impatience. In these times of aggravation, I just write my raps again. You try and place me in a box, well this is my emancipation. I won't hide the fact that data, I've been crying at a graveside. I try to channel pain again with my imagination, but I just have to pray despite the minor laceration. I defy the hands of Satan, this is my emancipation. Yeah, I got wavy, but now I'm clean to see his karma, because God gave me lessons and all I see is karma. Had to leave my partner, people harbor these emotions. This is deep as oceans, if relationships are sinking, leave the harbor. We don't need the drama. I know people who still deal drugs, stuck in that cycle.
That's the truth, man. For those that need to hear it, that's so true. If the seas are rough, man, and always rough, and they never seem like they're ever going to get better despite what you do, sometimes you just need to leave the harbor, man. Whatever, sometimes it has to happen. Cut that low hanging fruit, like I tell my kids, man. If people are bad for you, get them out of your life. Period. You don't owe anybody anything, family or not. You don't owe them. If they mean nothing but harm for you, you don't need to keep them around, man.
To see his karma, because God gave me lessons and all I see is karma. Had to leave my partner, people harbor these emotions. This is deep as oceans, if relationships are sinking, leave the harbor. We don't need the drama. I know people who still deal drugs, stuck in that cycle of prison like mates who steal stuff. You will judge, but honestly I never was a real fuck. Truth is, all I ever wanted was to feel love. But is the planet mending? We're meant to be ended soon. The sense of impending doom, like when I enter the room, like how you feel when they're questioning who's the best in the booth. One never mentioning you, but they're mentioning Benza's tune. So who's real in the flesh? Who's ill? Who's fresh? Who's blessed with the skill? My people could feel the rest. Go and ask Stephen Avery's nephew who's still the best. So if you ask him who killed it, he will confess. These people know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination. Something like the NHS, I guess, cause I don't like.
I was thinking, I know that name. Who the hell is that? And then the nephew part got me. Nice little making of a murderer. For those that haven't seen it on Netflix, nice little call back to that.
Is true to who's real in the flesh, who's ill, who's fresh, who's blessed with the skill. My people could feel the rest. Go and ask Stephen Avery's nephew who's still the best. So if you ask him who killed it, he will confess. These people know I'm sick and they can't find a vaccination. Something like the NHS, I guess, cause I don't lack impatience. In these times of aggravation, I just write my raps again. You try and place me in a box, well this is my emancipation. I won't hide the fact that data, I've been crying at a graveside. I try to channel pain again with my imagination, but I just have to pray despite the minor laceration. I defy the hands of Satan, this is my emancipation.
Yeah, man, big ups Benza on this one. You know, like it's not easy to do to write a song that's deep like that, and to put it out there and tell people what you've gone through and what you're going through, and hopefully some people can hear it, and maybe when they need to hear it. Often I find that's the case, is a song like this, or you read a quote, or somebody calls you, whatever it is, man. It seems like sometimes these things just come to you in the right moment. And if this comes to you in the right moment, and this is something you needed to hear, man, that's good. And hopefully it helps you in any way that it can, man. And make sure you go over and show this cat some love. Give it a watch or listen. If it speaks to you, man, and you can afford it, buy that shit. Just show them some love, man. And I love you guys each and every day for being here. Until next time, stay safe. Good to each other.